I was really interested in more than observing futuristic gadget or something like that could represent space and time and futurisms. I was really looking for change in the behavior of this society.
Hello, and welcome back to The Director's Cut, brought to you by the Directors Guild of America. In this episode, an elderly woman embarks on a transformative journey through the rivers and tributaries of the Amazon in director Gabriel Mascaro's drama, O Último Azul, which was screened as part of the DGA's Global Cinema Series. The film tells the story of 77-year-old Tereza, who has lived her whole life in a small industrial town in Brazil. When she receives an official government order to relocate to a senior housing colony, Tereza decides to take a journey that will fulfill one last wish before her freedom is taken away. In addition to O Último Azul, Mascaro's other directorial credits include the feature films High Rise, Neon Bull, August Winds, Housemaids, and Divine Love. Following the Global Cinema Series screening of the film at the DGA Theater in Los Angeles, Mascaro spoke with director Lily Mariye about filming O Último Azul. Listen on for their spoiler-filled conversation.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Lily Mariye. As a member of the Special Projects Committee, I'd like to thank you for coming out to our Global Cinema Series presentation of the Berlin International Film Festival's Silver Bear Grand Jury Prize winner, O Último Azul. And we're so lucky to have the writer and director as our very special guest this evening via Zoom from Shanghai. Please welcome Gabriel Mascaro.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. And so I'm very excited to talk to you, and so special for me to learn from you from this conversation.
Okay, I hope you do. Well, thank you so much for being here. This is a gorgeous film, and it's rare to see this sort of coming of age film about an older woman rather than a teenager coming into adulthood. And I was really touched by how she discovered her power later in life, that I felt like, this was one of the first times I've seen someone show that it's never too late to find who you are and discover who you are. I understand you wrote this and directed this. Where did the idea for this film come from, and how long was it from your little inkling of an idea to the final cut of your film?
Yeah, actually, it's a great question, because even it's a almost dystopian movie. There is some kind of utopian connection to the character and to trust and belief of the pulse of life. My first inspiration comes from my grandmother when she started to paint when she was 8 years old. Oh. Just after my grandpa passed away, she decided to start painting. Wow. It was so touching to see this new flourishment of life after this late stage of life, So it really touched me, and I start being obsessive about investigating the subject. I start researching a few references, and I couldn't find exactly movies dealing with this aging subject. There is only a few. We can see this Amour, Michael Haneke. That's a great movie. But the conflict is dealing with the imminence of death. So it's a body that is infinitude. And there is also the great movie Tokyo Story by Ozu.
Yes.
And you see the couple being surpassed by the development of Tokyo. So it's a body like being, how can I say, living the nostalgia of the past. If these elderly people are like the repository of past, and in some way that they only rest to only they are able to save the memories of the family, you know. So the elderly body, in some way, in cinema and in literature, are very specific holes where they can't be driven in an open and free journey. When you think about genre and coming of the age, are not looking to the elderly body to in terms of in dystopia, we are not allowing to see elderly body as a rebels. It's only reserved to the young. I try to make a different approach for the subject. After 10 years of writing, since I first got the first
10 years
grant for the Rotterdam Film Festival Hubert Bous Fund, and they support like young and newcomer filmmakers. So 10 years later, I came with this movie after this long process of investigation, because it's very tough to find reference and tone and think about the right way and to talk about this subject.
One of the things I really loved about it was that even if it was supposed to be like it was sort of unclear whether it was the past or the future. It was this dystopia that didn't look like a time, which I really appreciated. I don't like movies where we're in the future and everybody's wearing silver and driving weird cars. You didn't do that. Everybody looked exactly the same. Our clothes looked exactly the same. You know, the little cart that they take the older people on. I mean, that was great. It just looked like, it didn't look like, you know, the future. It just looked like any time. So I really appreciated that. When you were looking for locations, and did you have anything in mind? And who did you collaborate with first? Was it a production designer? Was it your cinematographer?
Yes, that's right. I was really interested in more than observing futuristic gadget or something like that could represent space and time and futurisms. I was really looking for change in the behavior of this society. So as we think about Amazon, this paradise of environmental protection, blah, 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 I was trying to show in the beginning of the movie this alligator meat factory processor and make this, this is not the world as I understand. Right. And then we see this old lady sit, and then come the Rico wagon and say, can I have documents? So like a small slice of change the behavior of this society that represents you slowly by slowly. It displays time or displays perception of reality. So more than futurism is about like, how can you deal with like a dystopia, bringing them to the displacement of space, time, and not about future, but could be nowadays, like could be now.
Yes. So when you were working on the look of the film, were you working with a production designer first? Who was the first person you started working with?
Yes, I think it was a long process of writing, but then when we start working the production, it came like together, the cinematographer and production designer. And it was very good to have the collaboration of Memo Garza, the cinematographer. Actually, he's a Mexican, but he lives in LA.
Oh.
And we did all of the post-production and the color grading. In some part of the color grading was in LA as well.
Well, he did a beautiful job, really.
Yeah. And yes, and the Brazilian production design in Daisy. She really was nice in observing a few elements due to our low budget, but how could we find like a specific elements of reality that could make this world building work? Because it wasn't about futurism, it was about like small change in the reality.
Did you, in conveying your ideas to them, did you have a color palette? Did you make a lookbook? Did you have like picture photos, references? How did you communicate to them what you wanted your film to look like?
Yes, there is a few photographers still in Brazil that have quite exciting investigation about Amazon forest. So you use some photographies to see how the new reference of light, the combination of source of lights are like affecting this old style documentary photography. So you can see this very like Chinese technology, cheap lamps, colorful stuff, part of Brazilian Amazonia routing. So, so very excited to play with different sorts of lights, and also to deal with this incredible floating house architecture that really part of the Brazilian rivers landscape, that actually they're amazing, built above these huge trees that are part of the flotation.
Wow.
And yes, so it was very amazing to bring this reference to and to contrast with the green of the nature. So I'm not sure if a few of you are familiar with my previous movie. I also did a movie called Neon Bull, distributed by Kinolover in US. And it's quite formal and long shots. I love the movie, but in this movie, I tried to do something slightly different, because instead of using the wide cinemascope aspect ratio, I try to avoid to being seduced by this amazing beauty of Amazon, but be very connected to the marks of times in the face of the character. So we had to do this kind of statements and strongly be connected to this concept, and the movie in some way are very connected and close to the character to reinforce their rebellious perspective against this state that want to control her life.
I liked the way you worked with your costume designer and your hair and makeup people to transform her from this factory worker who was very sad and lived a really, isolated life, to there's a shot where she's standing on the boat and the wind is blowing in her hair and she looks beautiful. And just that transformation from there from what she was to what she became, I can see why you just wanted to stay. You just wanted to stay here and show the whole story here. And you did it. You were very successful in that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, your actors. So did you know any of them before you started? Did you know their work? How did you decide who to work with?
Yes, Denise Weinberg, our leader actress, she's an amazing actress. Actually, she comes from the theater plays, and she's not that in the mainstream of Brazilian soap operas and TV. So we wanted to have some like fresh face to really blend with our another actor that's quite famous, Rodrigo Santoro.
Yes,
he make a few movies in Hollywood with Jim Carrey, like Christmas movies. And it was nice to have him playing in a totally different non-sex symbol.
I didn't recognize him at first because of his hair and all his hair here. It was great. He was wonderful, and I could see him having fun playing something that was not so close to himself.
Yes, and he's quite conscious about the power of his face, and that's why we deliberately started to present his character with the hair in front of his face. So slowly by slowly, we introduce him to the movie. But when you just think it's Rodrigo Santoro or not, you're already in the character. So it's a nice and smart way from the actor that really broke this idea to like, let's not show me, especially in Brazil, that's more famous. Like, let's not me show me there, like directly. Let's be part of my face first, and then we are discovering me. So it was a quite nice idea to introduce a famous actor through the character, not from the actor behind him.
Right. Because by that time you believe who he is, so it doesn't matter if you recognize him or not. Yes.
You read in the movie, yeah.
Did you rehearse with them at all? How did you approach working with them?
Yes, Rodrigo and Denise was amazing. They are quite intense in terms of how to understand the character and really go into the core of the character. So we spent a lot of great times intensely researching the character and to feel part of the reality. Actually, we have more than 20 other actors and actresses from local, from Manaus, and it was very special. I think it's the first movie set in the Amazon region to have this massive amount of local talents from the region. So it's quite special Brazilian movie because maybe for the first time reveals a lot of talents from this region, Brazil. And it's in the context of Brazil is a very happy connection because I'm from Northeast Brazil, a region that are coming a lot of other Brazilian movies popping up, like The Secret Agent, the Cannes film from Brazil. Also, it's from my city, so we are from the same city.
Nice.
It's a quite nice and independent hub where we can make it great and independent ideas. And yes,
I mean every dollar and more was on the screen. I would not have known that this was an independent film. I think, the acting was just so great. And there wasn't any one actor who took me out. Sometimes you watch a movie and someone who only has a couple of lines isn't very good. And so they take you out of the movie. And that never happened in your film. Did you hold auditions? How did you find these people?
Yes, it was. We work in collaboration with local casting producers, so we really could blend this amazing face to see this complex of Brazil. And actually, we had to deal with a lot of actors in Brazil, famous actors, unfortunately, by the pressure of the woman standard and the beauty of the mainstream. A lot of them are forced to make procedures in her face. So it was so difficult to find like a
real face.
A real face. And
yeah.
It's quite important for me as to find this real face that are proud of their aging,
Yes. I mean, they were both beautiful. She and how do you say her name?
Denise Weinberg is Brazilian. It was so amazing to find her. But the other actress, Roberta,
Roberta,
the actress, is from Cuba. Actually, we couldn't find in none of Brazil another face to represent this acting as the script demand, and we start to find a new countries in Brazil.
Wow.
Chile, Argentina, but was like quite white face who was looking for something else. Mm-hmm. And we finally found this amazing actress coming from Havana, Cuba, to learn how to drive this huge boat.
Oh my! So were they really driving this boat?
Yeah, she's driving. They are the only two drive this amazing huge boat in the middle of the Amazon, and everybody like scared. Oh my god!
And then they parked the boat. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Is she an actress in Cuba?
She's an actress in Cuba. Yes, Miriam Socorro.
She was beautiful and such a great actress. I really felt there were so many times where it was very tense and suspenseful. What's going to happen? Is Tereza going to get caught? And then when she first meets Roberta, I think, is she going to turn her in? There's just always this, low level of tension that I was afraid for her. And I think a lot of it had to do with your writing and how you shot it, but certainly the two of them conveyed that, and you did a wonderful job.
The important thing to me in the discovery of the movie and the character was that we are talking about a lead protagonist that she deserved to fly, but in the journey of the movie, she learned how to fly even higher than she would imagine.
Without a plane.
That's true.
That's right.
And in a movie that in general, we associate the safety when you find somewhere that can protect you, and sometimes the young body or male character, body, she found their safety in a woman even older than her.
That was fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about your editing process, or how long did it take you to shoot this movie?
Yes, it was 6 weeks shooting.
Oh, wow.
I had 2 editors working the movie. Our first moment was with the Mexican Omar Guzman. And then I met this amazing editor, Sebastian Sepulveda. He works with Fabula Rain and the Chile editor, and he's amazing. He's a senior. It was so special to find him. And we really worked together to find the tone, because I think this movie is really built in terms of like a playful movie, And I really could find that through the relationship with this amazing editor that really understand the movie and could find the tone and bring this reference to make it a very playful movie.
But also bring a lot of tension too.
Yes, but the tension proved playful. That was the
exactly. It was a great combination. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. So you were talking about your composer. The music is beautiful, and I had seen a couple interviews where you talk about you wanted the music almost to sound like a circus, or just very playful.
There's a message when I say I want to feel that there's a band, there's a group playing inside of the cinema. So this is not a movie that the soundtrack will reinforce feelings.
Oh.
For the opposite, we must to make counterintuitive sounds, because when the character is fired from the factory, we are not going to make it more like emotional, sad song. Let's make the opposite. Let's make something funny and happy. So you never understand, or sometimes counterintuitive feelings. Because then when she's feeling something, the music is showing another that's totally different from what you are watching. So it was a nice match between this editor, Sebastian Sepulveda, and this amazing composer that actually I discovered this is the first soundtrack he made for cinema.
Oh, wow. What had he done before this?
He's like a musician. He's a Mexican musician living in Austin, Texas. Very like independent, very like experimental sound, like this experimental art scene. And I could find him, and
How did you find him?
Actually, because I was looking, I used to play as a musician, so I knew.
What did you play? What instruments do you play?
Guitar and drums.
Oh, okay.
But because that I really knew that I wouldn't like to feel the guitar and drums. I would like to feel different sounds that are composed with like contact microphones. Some like you make sound from non-instrument source.
Mm-hmm.
So every sound palette, you quite never associate from where does it come from. That's why there's a lot of like weird noise that comes from the music. Only the winds you can recognize, like.
Mm-hmm.
So we brought this melodical circles, picaresque reference. So it was a very special combination of the editing tone with this musical picaresque circles vibe.
That's interesting that you used a lot of real sound, because I like to do that too, where so that the audience doesn't really know what is that sound. And it I think for your film, it gave us a feeling of, it gave us a feeling of the future rather than, a stereotypical kind of depiction of the future.
That's true.
So how long was your post process?
Well, we spent quite a long time because I'm a bit particular with sound.
That's good.
I'm like obsessive. So the whole sound are post-produced. There is no, all of the movies ADR for purpose.
Really?
There's no real
dialogue.
So I like, because with this movie, in some way we go to very like naturalistic tone in terms of cinematography. You feel very connected to the character.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was trying to avoid this naturalistic sound, to avoid the movie look like a documentary about like Amazonian people. You know?
Yes.
So I try to create this very like displaced sound design where you can feel everything very like in first ground.
Oh, wow. So it's like close rather than ambient.
That's true. So we can like break this expectation of like a realistic environment, or bring them to something more like first ground. Yeah. So the whole sound is redesigned.
Oh my gosh.
There's no one real line of voice. So I really deliberately tried to recreate everything from zero in the sound to make this feel bodily. And especially for the older character, I really want to feel her voice as a almost like a Marvel movie, like a hero, like talking to you in your, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So to play with this static of like a Marvel sound, like a first ground perfect sound, but if with our like cinematography more like free in terms of connection.
So then, because you replaced the dialogue, did you have to replace all the Foley? Did you have to replace water, sound, everything?
Everything. There is no one real sound in the movie.
So did you like stand next to the Amazon with a microphone and get the sound of the water and the sound? Because there's like sounds of people talking, and were they ADR artists, or did you go out there and collect sound?
Actually, I'm quite obsessive. So I spent 6 months shooting, and then I spent 10 weeks shooting the sound by myself.
Wow.
So the sound design is really, I really appreciate this work, because a few voices are mine playing when like,
wow.
So I could recreate that in the studio. And then sometimes I went to the location, I could capture it more realistic, but more controlled. And and so in some way it was nice, because Brazil is so noisy, and I do that.
Yes, right.
And I knew that from the beginning, so I didn't give the right importance on the shooting. So I shoot a lot, and then I knew that I would recreate everything.
Then you can control what you hear on the street and I see. So you recreated people talking in the studio rather than standing out on a street with a microphone.
Everything, all these parallel conversations behind. I recreate the whole script, what the people on the backstage were talking. So
that's amazing. Did you also do Foley in the studio, the sounds, or did you go out and collect sounds as well?
It was Foley, professionally Foley in the studio.
Oh, okay. Well, the sound was wonderful. So you did a good job as your sound engineer, your own sound engineer. Gosh, I feel like we've talked a lot about the whole process. Did you have a producer that you normally work with who worked with you on this film?
We have a long-term collaboration between the producers Rachel Ellis
from your company.
She's from UK, but she's living in Brazil, and Sandino Sarabia. He's from Uruguay but live in Mexico, and he also have worked in my previous movie as well. And we have a co-production of Netherlands and Chile. So I could work with editor from Chile and sound mixing in Netherlands. So the movie in some way was looking for different partners that could give a small amount of money to make different parts of the movie work.
I love that you didn't limit yourself to Brazil. You said, I need this, and you went all over the world to get it. I mean, that's eye-opening to me because I tend to limit myself. I think that's fantastic. Well, it looks like we're going to wrap up in a minute. I just wondered if, I know you're in Shanghai with your film. Are you working on anything else now? Are you looking toward developing something else?
Yes, I'm very excited actually to start developing a new script and original one. But also, I would love to be in passion with some project someone could show me. Also, I'm really open to develop and bring new ideas to the cinema. And yes, I'm working in these two directions at the moment. So trying to develop in something new for myself, but also reading a few scripts that are popping up. And if I can help to make these exciting, powerful stories, even if it's not written for myself, I'll be very happy as well.
Wow. In your spare time, you're doing that.
Together.
Gabriel, it was a pleasure and an honor to speak with you tonight. And thank you for sharing your film with us. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to another DGA Q&A. The Director's Cut is available wherever you listen to podcasts. And please share, subscribe, rate, and review. We'd love to hear your feedback, and you can help fellow film buffs find the show. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time. This podcast is produced by the Directors Guild of America.